for this week. So the reading is learning a second language. The objectives. So I want you to apply scanning and skimming into reading and answer questions of various types. Multiple choice questions, yes, no, or not given, and match sentence endings, all of which are common IELTS reading style questions. Now, some of you may have read the passage already and answered the questions, but it's very important that you practice the scanning and skimming skills. It's not just read everything and then spit out the answers. You should practice the skill. If this reading is easy, future readings might be more difficult. It's always useful to practice the scanning and skimming skills. In this lesson, we will first review some of the key vocabulary. Then I will go through the answer key and explanations, and you will work with me, skimming and scanning through the reading at the same time. Finally, I will assign a small homework assignment. So let's do the review. Reviewing the vocabulary that we learned already. So the first word, something relating to yes. Can you remember? To say that you agree with an idea, for example, begins with the letter A. Affirm. Try to put it in a sentence into your head. For example, I affirm that eating pizza is delicious but also can make you fat. The next word, something about thinking, something about the brain, but also look at the picture and you see a man in the picture. So if he's thinking a lot and he's very well studied, you might also use this word to call him something. Intellectual. Okay, the word is intellectual. Something about school. The clue to this word is that if you look at the spelling of school, you should see some of the word. Scholastic. The passports remind you of countries. Okay, what can you get given by a country? If you move to Australia for study and then you get a job there after some years, they might offer you citizenship. We have this cute kid again. What's the word? Lots of different languages. You're at school, you're learning things, you're learning how to speak languages. What's another way of saying to learn? You get what? You get knowledge. What's another way of saying get knowledge? Acquire. To acquire knowledge. Some Vikings. So that's an old language. If you want to study the history of language, very difficult word, probably quite hard to spell. Etymology. Multiple languages. Very close to what I just said. Multilingual. She's doing lots of different things at one time. Juggle. This old man suffering from a disease. Can you remember the name of the disease? Dementia. To say thank you, you show your what? Quite a long word. Appreciation. Okay, now we come to the reading. Answer key and explanation. What I would like you to do is follow along with the reading whilst we go through the answers to practice your skimming and scanning skills. So, question number 1. Choose the correct letter, A, B, C, or D. Write the correct letter in boxes 1 to 5 on your answer sheet. So we have a classic multiple choice for questions 1 to 5. Very common in the IELTS test. Question number 1. Studies have shown that second language learning can affect... Okay, so to help you, you want to first understand the question. To understand the question, you need to select or highlight or underline the key words in the question. Okay, so I'm going to do that for you. We have studies, second language learning, and affect. So when you've found the keywords, try to find where they are mirrored. Where can you find synonyms in the reading? take a minute, try to identify which paragraph you find synonyms or phrases similar to the key words in the question. Okay, this is in paragraph 1. Often the questions will work that way. We're in question 1, so you're expected to find the answer earlier in the text. Can help you figure out where you should be reading for which question. That's a scanning skill, searching the paper without reading everything. Okay, the keywords connected to the keywords in the question, we have various studies of second language. So the sentence in the reading, paragraph 1, various studies of second language learning have all shown that the benefits of learning a second language are much broader than simply the ability to speak another language. So, various studies have shown that second language learning can affect a learner's ability in his or her mother tongue. In paragraph 1, in the last sentence, you see the word first language. Research affirms the importance of second language education regarding intellectual potential, scholastic achievement, first language skills, citizenship, and economy. In the list at the end of paragraph 1, the only thing that is also mentioned in question 1 is first language skills, or the mother tongue. The mother tongue means the first language you speak. Okay, question number 2. The benefits that second language learning creates with children's study of other subjects. So let's find the key words. Benefits or advantages, things that help you. Second language learning a second language. And children's study of other subjects. Very important, the word children identifies that you are not looking for anything related to adults. So try to find which paragraph do you find mirroring words from those key words. We're looking in paragraph 3 now. Where do you find that? So the reasons for the third sentence. The reasons for this are not altogether clear. Perhaps the study skills acquired and used for studying another language also strengthen study skills used in other areas, and it could also strengthen the ability to analyze and interpret information. Okay, so again, the reasons for this are not altogether clear. Okay, the benefits the second language learning creates with children's study of other subjects is not really understood. So answer is B. Question number 3. Switching from one language to another. Switching language are the key words. Okay, so changing. What's another way of saying changing? Where do you see those key words? You can find it in paragraph 4. So the keywords are not mirrored here, but the answer is led by this is very distracting. This is very distracting and demanding work, not only for the tongue and language faculties, but also especially for the brain. Okay, so switching from one language to another, you can say multitasking, right? Multitasking means to do more than one thing at the same time. If you're switching from one language to another, that's very difficult. So switching from one language to another is very distracting. So what do we think the answer is? A is hard work for the brain. Switching from one language to another is hard work for the brain, which is why you should always speak English in English class, because it helps you stay focused, not just because speaking Vietnamese in English class annoys me or your teacher, but because it helps you to stay focused on what you are learning. The ability to switch from one language to another. Very similar phrasing here to question 3, with keywords the ability to switch and language. So where would you see that? If, considering we have very similar phrasing to question 3, it should be no surprise that you find the answer also in paragraph 4. But unlike question 3, here we are talking about not switching from one language, but the ability to switch. If someone can speak multiple languages, we call them multilingual. So the key word is developed multilingual ability. Okay, key word is matched. The ability to switch, multilingual ability. So the answer is D. The whole sentence. People who have developed multilingual ability are highly proficient multitaskers and commit very few errors when juggling various activities. So the answer is D. Question 5 is a single word, bilingualism. So that's the key word, and you can find it in paragraph 5. Bilingualism means to speak 2 languages. Multilingualism means to speak more than one. So if you find the phrase multilingual adults, very similar to bilingual adults. So what is the answer? Multilingual adults what? Okay, so the answer is A. Multilingual adults experienced the onset of Alzheimer's and dementia at a later age of 75 compared to monolingual adults who had the first signs at age 71. If bilingual means 2 languages and multilingual means more than one, mono means 1. So monolingual adults only speak 1 language. And so that sentence clearly shows that speaking more than 1 language can delay the start of Alzheimer's and dementia by about 4 years. For questions 6 to 9, we have to answer yes, no, or not given. So do the following statements agree with the views of the writer in the text? In boxes 6 to 9 on your answer sheet, write yes, no, or not given. Okay. Not given, if you can't see any evidence that they say that in the text, you write not given. Otherwise, you agree or disagree by writing yes or no. Question 6. Other health issues can affect an individual's likeliness to avoid Alzheimer's disease as much as second language abilities. So we have keywords here, health issues and affect the likeliness to avoid Alzheimer's disease as much as second language abilities. Okay, so very important you look at the phrasing. These questions try to get you stuck or trick you. Other health issues can affect an individual's likeliness to avoid Alzheimer's disease as much as second language abilities. Okay, so basically the key phrase, the most important word there is as much. Do other health issues affect the people in terms of Alzheimer's as much as second language abilities? So in paragraph 5, you see this key phrase. The answer is no. Question 7. Studies have shown salaries are significantly higher for those people who are multilingual. Studies and salaries significantly higher for people who are multilingual. Salaries, how much people earn. Okay. Can you find anything relating to the money people earn at their job based on the amount of languages they speak? There is nothing in the text to discuss this issue, so you would write not given. Number 8, multilingual people have a better ability to make decisions. So multilingual people, better ability and to make decisions. In paragraph 6, looking for the phrase businesses are of course should give you the answer yes. Businesses are of course interested in people who have an ability that improves their intelligence, flexibility, openness to diverse people, and decision-making skills. And these are just bonuses to the evident ability to communicate in several languages and cross-cultural barriers. And finally, number 9, multilingual people have longer life expectancies. So life expectancy, how long are you expected to live? To what age can you expect to live? And the answer is not given. Okay, for the last 4 questions, questions 10 to 13, we have to complete each sentence with the correct ending. You match the number 10, 11, 12 and 13 to a letter. Write the correct letter A to G in answer boxes 10 to 13 on your answer sheet. Of course, there are more letters than there are questions. So, we have question 10, an additional benefit of learning a second language. 11, a successful second language learner. 12, a society's traditions are better understood by a learner who. And 13, the time to learn a second language. And then we have the 7 options. A tip for this section, sometimes you can figure out that some letters do not match the number based on the grammar rather than the reading, which can help you eliminate the wrong answers. A very important part of reading your questions before you answer. Something very useful to do in the time when you have time to read. If you're sitting there looking at the board, looking at your teacher, waiting for the listening or the reading to start, you have some time to read the questions. Okay, you can focus on the grammar. So, question 10, an additional benefit of learning a second language. If you look in paragraph 6, additionally, this key phrase points to the answer. So the answer is D. An additional benefit of learning a second language is people feel better about themselves. So the last sentence in paragraph 6, additionally, speaking another language can simply give people a lot of pleasure, as they can communicate with others in their native language. But the key word is pleasure. Pleasure is feeling good, so people feel better about themselves if they feel pleasure. Number 11, a successful second language learner. Which paragraph do you think the key phrase is in? It's paragraph 7. No matter their background. No matter their background, people tend to gravitate around multilingual people because of their skills. Others simply find the openness and quick-mindedness of multilingual people naturally attractive. So a successful second language learner, look at the possible options. C, is often instinctively appealing to those around him or her. Number 12, a society's traditions are better understood by a learner who. Now we're looking still in paragraph 7. It makes learners come to terms. If you see, it's the last sentence. It makes learners come to terms with how they view the world and other cultures, and have more appreciation of their own? The answer is F. A society's traditions are better understood by a learner who is open to study the society's language. A good example of this actually is English or English culture. When you speak English to English people, we use please and thank you a lot, and that shows you that in British society and in British tradition, being polite is very important, and if you speak English, you see that matched in the English language, especially when you speak to British English speakers. Question 13. The time to learn a second language. So we're talking about time. Paragraph 8. The cognitive and neurological. So we have the first sentence in paragraph 8. The cognitive and neurological benefits of learning a foreign language extend from early childhood to old age, as the brain more efficiently processes information and staves off cognitive decline. A. So the time to learn a second language does not have to be when a learner is young, in terms of the benefits of learning a language. Okay, so here we have the full answers just to review from questions 1 to 13. So number 1 is C, 2B, 3A, 4D, 5A, 6 no, 7 not given, 8 yes, 9 not given, 10D, 11C, 12F, 13A. But really the most important thing here is the paragraph column, where you identify where you are finding the answer in the text. That's the key to show you that you are successfully answering a reading passage, is to prove where you find your answer from. Don't just take a guess. If you can point to the text where you found the answer, that means you have probably got the answer correct. So let's check. First, do you remember the 10 words in the reading passage, learning a second language? Hopefully yes. And 2, have you applied scanning and skimming into reading and answered the questions in different types that you see on an IELTS test? Hopefully also yes. If you've been following the PowerPoint, you have achieved that. Thank you very much.